Good evening, ladies
Hello.
and gentlemen. Welcome, right there, Lauren.
No.
Welcome back to the ESL studios here in Cologne. It is time for the second semi-final.
It may feel like the 9th semi-final you've seen, but no, there is actually just 2. We already
That's
had
right.
the first. Now we're into the
Yes,
second.
it was a 3-map affair. Went all the way. It was close until the last map, and then it was a blowout for Leisure. So we're going to be moving on to the next one here, as well as the event does take place in Duisburg. We're providing, obviously, the English commentary for it. The next is going to be a match, an interesting one between Alternate and PENTA. So let's meet Alternate. Let's bring them up on the screen in a second and get an idea of who exactly they are. Actually, PENTA. We'll start with PENTA as well, because it's a bit easier for our production guy, because it's just easier to have there. So PENTA is Strux, Stavros, Tony, Oskarish, and Johnny. So obviously, not the PENTA we saw for the entire season of the Meisterschaft. Completely different. You can see that those two players in the blue are wearing Lioncast jerseys there as well, so everything is a little bit different, you can say.
You know what, casting PENTA 2.0 or 0.2, I don't know how you want to look at it, is really enjoyable, especially when we know the maps now, Mitch.
We do. It's going to be starting with Dust 2, on to Cobblestone, and then Cage to finish things off.
I love it.
That's how it's going to work. So obviously, yeah, this is just... When I saw people on the clean feed, they were voting. They said it would be probably a win for PENTA. I'd be interested to see how this really works out. I don't know how practiced these team are together.
They're playing Dust, Mitch. It doesn't matter.
You reckon?
No, well, they're playing aimbots is what they're actually playing on there. If you've ever played the warm-up map, it's very good. You get little bots that you can spawn in and you just shoot them. It's what they're doing, not being on the server. So do you remember when I was like mildly tilted in the last game when someone just went full summit in a molly and it almost worked out for them? Just embrace this feeling right now. Just marinating in it.
So I can show you some images from the venue as well and exactly what's going on.
Yep, you can see the admins near PCs. That's endearing.
Yeah, there's a camera guy as well. Doesn't realise that his camera is actually the active one at this moment as well. So he's just
I'm back. There we go.
So this is PENTA at the moment.
This
you can
is
see
how you put in a headset.
Obviously, yeah, an assortment of different jerseys here as well. Obviously, Stavros and Strux played for PENTA way back. This is Alternate, of course, on your screen here, who I really would favour in this matchup. I mean, even with the same PENTA team we saw earlier on in the Meisterschaft season, I think Alternate have just been better online at least.
Yeah, but the thing is, these two teams are actually experienced in LAN events. And, okay, Cobble's a bit of a massive issue, let's be real here. Ignoring that, Dust 2 could go either way, 100%. Sure, you'd theorycraft that Alternate should win it as they are a team, but Dust 2 is not a map that you need, you know, that insane teamwork for. You don't need that. That's not the point. Dust 2 encourages everything else pretty much, which is meaning that you see a lot of kind of like aim-dependent teams being really strong at it, or occasionally you'll see like someone surprised as the wobbly camera makes me feel I'm drunk. I'm not. It might just be jet lag at this point. But the point being, like, there's a lot to Dust 2 that will essentially mean that this becomes a very even match. Why did it just do a transition?
Fly in? I thought it was quite nice, actually.
Why did they just do that, though? Why would you do a transition? I don't know. I'm being grumpy. But yeah, Dust 2's going to be close. It doesn't matter with these two teams. I think the thing is that Alternate will come in with pressure on them here, if anything. And then PENTA are just like, well, we don't care. Let's just have fun. You know, we want to win, sure, but we don't have to worry too much. So yeah, it'll actually be pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, so obviously Lioncast was where Tony, Stavros and Oskarish are from, which we didn't really see of at all. I don't even know if they played. They definitely didn't make top 8, obviously. We didn't see them in the playoffs, but yeah, I don't really know if we even saw them at all. However, they're here to play now, and we know actually that of their individual skill, it is quite something. It's you know, not your average run-of-the-mill plays here as well. But again, let's have a look at the team sheet for alternate aTTaX as well, because there's a bit of story behind these guys as well, and they have some history, definitely well known in the German scene. It is Krisby, Tizian, Stefan, Crazy or KZY, whichever way you like to call it, and Kiev. This team was the old Killerfish team from the last season, the Winter Meisterschaft, who, if I'm not mistaken, either were in the grand final or won it. They were very, very strong. Then Killerfish, obviously, well, these guys got picked up by Alternate. Killerfish picked up a new team for themselves, and then everyone passed teams around like a do-si-do for a few weeks until we finally got settled.
Do you pass people around in do-si-dos?
Yeah, like, you know how you link arms, and then you go around, and
oh,
then you go to the next person?
Right. It was a genuine question, not just being an ass.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what do-si-do is anyway, but...
Yeah. God, the Germans look excited.
The crowd's starting to fill up a bit. That's good. Wouldn't be a terrible day to be there as well. Maybe a bit warm. I don't know what it's like up in that part. I think it's near Essen, I think. It's like in the it's near Duisburg's near Essen, so it's like north of Cologne. Whereas here it's sweltering, actually 26 degrees, stunning day, storming.
And we're
day.
in here.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. You know, walk outside the studio and you just take a breath after the game's finished, and you see people walking down the street with grills and girls, and going to the park as well to just to enjoy it.
A couple of beers under arms.
Honestly, it's why this is such a great city when the sun is out. When the sun's not out, it's like every other cold city in the world.
Do you know what I love about the city? That I'm stuck in a studio right now. You know what I mean? It's like, when it's winter, I don't care. It's like awesome video games. When it's summer, it's like everything gets really warm and horrible. It's like I just want to be outside, but then I realize I don't like the outside and return to being a hermit that I am. But on a serious note, yeah, this all in all should be Alternate's game. From start to finish, they are the team. They've come in as a team. They are a collective of players who have a reputation of doing well in these events. Whereas Penta, on the other hand, they've been kind of seemingly thrown together. So, yeah, it's...
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Obviously that's
German.
They're completely new team for the finals. Strux and Stavros have been German champions with PKD. So we already put that up there for you in English. So it's fine.
Look at you with your German though.
Well, I recognise it.
What does PENTA Sports mean in English?
You know, I'm glad we tilt-proofed your chair before you sat down, by the way. Yeah, 5 sports, Lauren, 5 sports.
Don't steal the joke from the producer.
But no one's going to hear it if I don't say it.
It's funny just to us.
True. I want people to know how funny Henning is.
Yeah, you weren't going to credit him for it, were you?
Well, people don't know who Henning is.
Yeah, but now we had to tell them.
Now everyone knows who Henning is. That's the whole point, right? That's fine.
There you go. But yeah, the sweet joy right now is the fact that actually no one's in the server, so they're just out there chilling out.
Browsing the market, just looking at their guns and game. Brilliant. So yeah, really, I would not have... I'd almost have no expectations from Penta going to this one. No big expectations. It's so weird that you get to the Meisterschaft and in the semi-final, it's... Oh, brilliant. Oh, there we go. G'day, Skype. Yeah, I'm on Twitch, boys. What can I do? Alternate, clear favourites for the title win. And Kiev is known as... Don't Skype, Lauren. That's really infantile of you. All right, that's really mature. Come on.
I didn't.
So Kiev is said to be one of the best AWPers in Germany. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's pretty good, but I mean...
Best AWPer in Germany.
Well, okay, obviously that maybe not is... Well, we're not talking about the Netherlands, so...
But we embrace Chris J, you know? As an English person, I embrace him as a German.
Yeah, okay, great.
So I like to round up Mousesports as once was a German team, and then they had Nico, and it all got a bit wrong. And it's just like, I can't just, generically sum you up. Oh, wow, are they using thermal take? Oh, no, okay. I remember that sweet joy.
It's all right.
All right, we have 3 in the server, guys. Normally, during the Pro League, I would tell the admins to not come back to us until there's at least 6.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so tilted.
All right, guys, come back to us, if you don't mind, just before we see what actually Mitch looks at on Skype, which is just...
Well, why have you sent these things to me in Skype? It's really inappropriate.
I didn't send you...
Oh.
I'll show people my Skype because, I'd really like to do that. But yeah, at the moment we are just waiting on the players to get ready. I am mildly tilted because I have to watch Dust 2, which is going to be heathen. Why would you leave Dust 2 open? If it's a pick and ban, Mitch, right? And you're a set-up team, right? You're like, okay, we got this one nailed down. When you come up against a bit of a puggy mix, right? Who, have some ability. You've played before. You don't want to mess with that, right? What map do you ban?
Oh, do you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Probably Dust 2.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Look, that being said as well...
It's not like nukes in the map pool, Mitch.
Okay, but how solid do you think Penta's map pool is right now?
I don't care.
it's probably crap, to be honest.
Yeah, it probably is, but the point is...
So they ban everything else that they don't know and they just play Puggy on Dust 2?
Yeah, but why did Alternate use any ban for anything else other than Dust 2? I need to find out what they banned.
They probably think pound for pound they can still beat Penta out on Dust 2.
I don't think that.
What do they think, Lauren?
Ban Dust 2, that's what they think. I want to see what the bans were. I'm hoping we get to see it. No. No.
So this is this is the secondary roster from Penta, in case we haven't really nailed that home enough.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're wondering what's going on the other stream, they're just pointing at people in the audience. So it's actually no more professional than this.
That's quite interesting actually as well. I wish I could wear a polo shirt, cuz that'd be nice.
You could if you didn't change from earlier. You could have just been out here chilling.
No, I'll get in trouble for that. Shouldn't do that. So obviously,
if there's anyone getting in trouble, I think I've already claimed that title. Don't you worry.
I'm gonna actually have
see you in review, Joe.
Oh, it's gorgeous. All right. Can we get some more clean feed action? We'll see more of the event instead of us just tilting out of our minds. It's fine. I've got hopefully everything's sorted here as well, except up in the top left corner says advertisement. Can't do much about that, but this is next level technological use here as well. Just get the Twitch channel open.
In the stream.
That's right. It's not even clean feed, it's just Twitch. You can watch this all as well over on twitch.tv/ESL if you want to know exactly what's going on with all these games here as well. So some technical issues by the sounds of things.
Yeah, and sounds being the primary thing I think is actually TeamSpeak. They're just trying to fix to make sure it's actually working. I'm still trying to find out the bands here. I'm not too sure as the audience seems to be getting really lively with that sugar-free Red Bull.
It's getting rowdy. We're not messing around.
That's like Benna. I think Benedict has that t-shirt.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I don't think he's there.
Benedict has the beard. So trimmed though.
Yeah, that's true. I'm still trying to find the bands. I'm not going to see them. Maybe the admin will let me know. Who knows? Do you know the bands? Like, okay, don't get me wrong. Let me put it this way. So your argument was that if you're alternate, you'd be just comfortable because it's Dust 2 and you're good at it.
Well, I just don't think you'd want to play any customs too much, really. I don't know if you'd be feeling confident about how well you cracked on those as a throw together.
I just think when you're someone. Okay, so.
Well, okay, this could honestly, this could be not even a throw together.
This is great,
right?
No. For Penta, this is perfect. If you're Penta, you're happy. If I was alternate, I'd be confused why we didn't get rid of this map. However, you could argue they're very confident here, and maybe I just can't seem to. Oh, they're so cute.
Having a maternal moment there, Lauren.
No.
It's good.
Ovaries are shriveled and dead by now. Don't you worry.
Too much CS, not enough sunlight. Oscarish there, definitely having his cheer squad.
Essentially at this point.
Just a couple of raisins. Just about to drop off.
Jesus Christ.
It's great.
Is that a TCM t-shirt? No, that's actually the Legend one. Wow, it actually looks like
one of
Team
the Legend
Cooler
players,
Master.
I think,
Yeah,
actually.
That looks like Team Cooler Master though. If I was X-Man from TCM, I'd be annoyed at that. I'd give him a call out. What are you doing, Legend? But yeah, the basic of my point is that alternate. I don't think they're a team that can quite do the Na'Vi, right? So they do the. I'm great at every map but one. You know, and that but one is cash. So they'll always ban that. I don't think you can be like, oh, but we're not too good on the custom ones. We're not too good on this. You can't quite do that, especially when Dust 2 is the one that you're leaving in map pools. It doesn't matter how good you are. So yeah, I'm a little bit curious if that comes back to bite them on the arse. It shouldn't, but if it does, it's their own doing.
And there's also the question as well, if this is the current major map pool that doesn't include Inferno, then do you just insta-ban out Nuke if you're a team like Penta who maybe hasn't had time to prac it? Or maybe you think, you know, all these questions you got to ask. I'm pretty sure Inferno's in the map pool as it was for the whole season. So that just obviously got banned away, I guess, as well. I mean, Mirage really got banned away.
All the maps that are fun.
Yeah.
That I like.
That are fun to cast as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Dust 2 when it's played by very specific teams. I think you can have some real enjoyment to it. But it's rarely to that degree. If I'm very honest, I remember watching the French sides at the time when they did the first CT aggression towards B-Tunnels, or Astralis, the way they started to play, especially with Device starting to AWP. I thought that was brilliant. Or maybe Shocks, you know, how well he can lurk on this map, how incredibly talented he is at that. I think there's some very nuanced plays that are incredibly beautiful to watch. Na'Vi, slow play. But we're not going to get that in this. This is not going to be that level. I'm going to be real honest here. One, because Penta, I don't think they can do the 40-second default, you know, real slow build-up, take that map control as clinically as you can, and then pull the rest into place in those last seconds, nailing those shots. And that's no offense to Penta, it's just, you know, most teams can't do that. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to see going into this one. I'm surprised in general just to see Dust, still.
Well, looks like the players are, well, being informed that they need to ready up fairly soon here as well, so...
Sorry.
That's fine.
Smashing my mic around.
I've got a headset right by my knee as well. Every time I move my knee,
is that what it is?
Like that.
Ah, I did wonder.
Tilting me pretty badly as well, but that's fine.
Can you not move it?
That would be a bit complicated.
What, moving the mic?
A little bit too
hard work.
All right, guys. Well, this is our life now. This is what we do. So, all sorted. We're going to be hopefully getting ready for the knife round here as well. Teams just running it up. So, can probably drop you in the game fairly shortly, I feel.
You can go in there now if you want. It's up to you guys. I don't really mind.
Yeah, vote you guys. In Twitch chat, do you want to go into the game or not?
There's grills on the screen. Look what you've done. Look at this slow, creepy camera shot.
It's an ESL camera crew.
Yeah, it literally is. It's like, we found a girl. Give it that awkward extra 5 seconds. Mate, they've already done like the smile, like, haha, guys, we noticed. And it's just still there, like.
Mate, you wait till like Poland is the best. I don't know if it's because that camera crew goes there because the girls are really beautiful there, or
there's something.
Or something it is, mate.
There's something.
Every time, dude. Every time. Is the venue for you.
Setting, yeah.
It is cool. I like it. I mean, and to be fair, that you could actually integrate PENTA Support coming out there. You could actually integrate a proper crowd on stage in there. It makes it even more awesome. So,
yeah.
Crowd getting fired up. Can't read that. Sorry.
No.
David. P.S. David Cheater. Okay, David. Whoever you are, you cheat.
Well, it is a German event. What?
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Who's not made online German cheat jokes? Come on.
All right, game starting. Let's jump in.
Oh, now
I think
you
it's
wanna
the
be
knife round.
serious.
It's going to begin. I've already called like a pro player trash this season. I'm not going to take any more
Who
risks.
was it you called trash by accident?
Crims by
Yeah.
accident.
By all people.
I didn't even mean to call him trash. It's just the way it worked out.
What was it, Flusher?
No,
Flusher.
it was Crims jumping down from upper on overpass into like the trash at the bottom. Like he joins the rest.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, whoops, shouldn't have said
Yeah.
that.
Whoopsie daisy.
Anyway, we're into the knife round here. First map, it's going to be Dust 2, and you can see Oren is jumping out of her seat because of it. It's going to be fun. At the very least here, we're going to be into the knife to see how it all kicks off. Why didn't Alternate get a logo?
What do you mean? Oh, because they haven't been to a major.
Uh-huh.
There you go. So there you go, guys at home who don't know. And you always wonder when people like Kyo, after very quick team changes, for example, when he went from Envy to FaZe, his logo stayed as Envy in official games. It's because within Steam and in CSGO, it will stick to the team you played at the major. So all the major teams, unless you do custom files added, will keep the logos from the major. So Penta will be in there or whomever else. And you have to custom update it if you want it to be up to date. And I'm too lazy to do that because no one sent me the files for alternate. So they can be just German. They are Germany. That's it.
Well, close enough, really. So, knife round being done there. We're waiting for just a slide select here as well.
We can do some fun games on Dust 2 called Did You Know?
Did you know? Oh, yeah. I did you know on Dust 2, actually. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Did you know that Dust 2 almost was never added to Counter-Strike?
No, I did not know that.
They did not feel it fit the theme, I believe it was at the time. And then I think it was Jeff Cliff, I think that was him, argued for the map to be put in. And there it was.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. And that map was made by Dave Johnstow, I think his name is. Oh, I think so. I know it is, you know, in-game name. It's like remembering people's real names. Harder. Yeah. He now does UI design rather than map design. And he also made Cobble.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. This is why I don't fill normally. I normally have like written down topics of like, you know, in their history, this team did this. Now I'm just like, let's talk about Cobble.
Well, that's fine. I think we always get plenty of chance to fill for our German championships, generally speaking. It's a leisurely pace. It's a Saturday afternoon. Everyone's just chilling.
Yeah, most are just down the park,
getting
though.
getting some. Can you not remind me? Seriously, getting some sun. That's why I asked you not to say bar before.
Sorry.
As well.
Yeah, Dave Johnston is the name, not Johnston.
Dave Johnston.
Oh, production throwing chairs. He's had enough. He's out of here. He's gone full rock star.
Throwing his toys out the pram.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I can bring up more facts that he sent me.
So, I mean, let's talk about Oscarish as well then while we got a moment. Well, we can. I mean,
yes, we can. Let's go.
How much do we really know about him? Because we have seen him before. I'm certain we've seen Oscarish before at like a decent level.
Yeah,
was it Penta?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
Penta?
played with some of these players before. So yeah, it's not too surprising to see these guys come back together. So it's a team that's been not necessarily tested before, but you know, basically you could pick. Out of 5 players in the German scene, 1 will have probably played in a Meisterschaft at some point. Let's be really honest here, and you could probably combine them all. It was like it's like the UK scene back in CS as well. It's like these very kind of native scenes will always keep the same. It feels like 20 players like rotating between lineups. You know, one will hate each other for a week and then they switch up again. So yeah, it's always kind of interesting. See how this one goes down. But I hate Dust 2 these days. You know that. You know, I love the map design. He's actually a really nice guy. I have a lot of time for him. But the map is just done to death until someone really innovates, which is the thing. And when teams do, everyone gets excited about it again. But I don't know if this is the time nor the place.
No. Well, Kiev is getting his binds out. GLHF, the match has begun. It's going to be alternate starting on the CT side. And Penta on the T side, this roster coming together after quite some time. It was said it was like a secondary team being fielded by the organization. So whether that's the case or whether they just grab these players out of the woodwork towards the end, we'll never know. But we're very interested, obviously, to see how they perform here.
Look at this 3 play towards mid. This is kind of interesting. So they have 2 players playing really close. And they were just trying to create a crossfire if there was that mid to B play coming in, which hasn't happened, which has kind of undone the plan here from Alternate. They've come in with a great mindset, and this is like the pure Puggy style that PENTA can do, right? They're just hammering out mid, guys, we've got Glocks. But then the retake comes in a bit quicker than maybe they expected. And Kiev now going to be trying to get into their faces as quick as possible, but not going to happen too easily. PENTA are not going down without a fight, and Bomb's working its way up now.
Slowly but surely, it's getting its way onto the site, and Stavros is going to be able to plant it down. And so Tizian's going to have to link up with Crisby here at some point and actually get their way on towards short there. They had left a player back. Struggle sitting in towards lower, and Tizian able to turn around on towards Johnny. This is looking a lot better now for Alternate, as it's just Stavros and Tony, but Tony turns it around a quick 2, and he gets a 3rd as well. Just holding short like an absolute beast. And PENTA, okay. That first round, Tony with 4.
Remember when I told you that Dusty's a really bad pick against a Pug?
Well, that's all you need, isn't it? One player just to smash you down. And
that's the thing, like, Tony is a really good player. Like, he's been around the scene for long enough. And then you look at this lineup, there's a lot of players who can play like that. Sure, you'd argue that Alternate should be able to do the same back, but this is dangerous, because that was like a pre-made plan, it felt like, from the CT side. You know, that nice little 3 play towards mid. If they'd maybe predicted someone doing a mid to B or had an inkling for that, awesome idea. Really nice. But then it gives up everything else. If someone just smokes down and powers through, then you're kind of screwed, which is what happened. So you can see the pop flash on long. Kiev's going to go through after Tizian's like, go for it. You'll hear that coming in. Goes anti-flash, in you go. And lovingly waiting on the other side, however, is a lot of players. Johnny being one with the UMP. We've got the MP9 as well. I always just call it the SMG. I should probably be specific. But yeah, that is in the hands of Strugs. So a lot of SMGs here, and you can see the pace of play coming out from the T side as well. Take over mid control, deny the early flanks or the extremities of the map to the CT side, and then work your way up. It may even be a full-on, you know, we've only got 1 smoke, so I'd assume a mid to B here at this point. Let's keep our eyes on Johnny then, because he'll be the kind of guy to do this. And he's going to do the closer smoke to speed up the timing, which basically puts off players like KZY getting the timing right here.
KZY as well, you're going to see the player jump across, and he actually can... Yeah, I don't really know if that's worked out as well as it should have. No one looked back to check it, but Stavros at least was able to turn around, and that could have gone very, very wrong. But Alternate again finds himself behind the 8 ball now as that B side is open, and PENTA are just going to set up and plant down.
Yeah, and you might as well just keep these guns at this point, Mitch. You know, if you're a CT side, you're not going to get much more. You're not going to be able to retake B. Maybe position yourself down by like T-spawn and just hope to maybe catch someone crossing through those B tunnels is the most you can hope for. But yeah, that mid to B was, I guess, pretty well formed in the end. I don't know if I like that smoke. It felt like he actually kind of messed it up because it left a big gap there that someone could have maybe seen.
Yeah, but I think Stavros was watching it.
Yeah, so unless someone actually really fully showed, you were pretty safe, but it's still pretty dangerous. If you put like someone on top of the box or like nearby who's already positioned, they could have had a real good time on it. But lucky for them, not the case. And yeah, so T-side, everyone stays alive, full armor, everything's good for them. Obviously, Tony's down to 1 HP, but it doesn't matter. Bomb plant came in. They've had plants in both rounds, if I'm not mistaken now. So they can just stick on this buy and be pretty happy. And on the other side of things, they keep a couple of players standing with those upgraded pistols. Going to just supplement with a touch of armor, keep above minimum 2k so they can go into that next round and do what they can, essentially.
KZY choked a little bit, I think, there, coming out of CT. I mean... He maybe got excited, like, oh, are they not checking this gap in the smoke? Do they not realize it's here? And he pushed it so deep, and he got taken down there. I don't know. Anyway, Tizian there had armor, actually, but he's had most of his health taken away as he tried to peek on towards short. And Tony there with the scout. It's on towards Kiev. I think that was straight down mid, actually, in towards the head. So that was quite hard to deal with. And now Oscarish as well is going to be leading the way down towards short. But the bomb's still being left back. Tony's at his leisure to go and scoop that up really whenever he pleases. Alternate already cut down to 3 players, and none of them are particularly healthy.
No, KZY is the only one I think we know to be able to do anything here, but they're going to get outdone at some point. There's only so much you can stay alive at this point. Tizian so low, Crisby being so low. It's kind of all she wrote, unless they can really find some incredible angles and just work something amazing out. Tizian might be able to watch him cross through, but this is a one-and-done spot if you've ever seen it, especially now Johnny took down KZY on one.
Yeah, these shots are hard to hit for Tizian as well. It's only a very small window of opportunity, and he misses out as well. Strugs as well coming lower side. Gets that kill. Now, will it be, I guess, a similar situation to Leisure, really starting to kick things into gear once they get the guns in their hand? Because aTTaX haven't really seen that convincing at all in his first few rounds. And your prediction, the way this map lends itself to teams that aren't necessarily well-drilled and well-oiled and just have strong players, may just be right.
Well, let's hope for aTTaX's sake that they start picking up. This is when they should just start smashing. They got the guns now. They're going to do the triple stack threat on long, and this could work out really well, but it's actually a 1-for-1 trade. Make it 2 for 2 in the end. And finally, Key pulls the odds in favor to aTTaX. So that's a bit of a redeeming factor here. The bomb now going to be sent scurrying away, tail between legs, and a bit of a rude awakening going, guys, just remember, we do know this map. We should be substantially better at it than you, and they're finally showing a little bit of that then.
Tony still has his AWP to work with. I'm pretty sure Kiev copied device in his naming of his AWP, by the way, but that's fine. It's just a sign of respect, I'm sure. Star.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe just really likes Gambit Gaming. Because it looks like the Gambit logo, doesn't it? It's like the same red as well.
Yeah, it does. That's true. Tony and Oskarish, or Oskarishtos, as he wants to be known today, no problem. We're going to be working.
Who loves Paula?
Yeah. Shout out to Paula.
We all love you, Paula.
Yeah. You're a good egg, you are. Yeah. So Crispy will be sat in pit here. Kiev will be able to turn his head here, so really it should be pretty straightforward. Crispy got heavily flashed by that one. Will there be another one? No. So realistically, Crispy should at least trade this one for one.
Oh, no.
Should have both of them, really. They're not checking pit at all. Kiev gets the shot towards Tony as well, straight down. Kiev gets the second. So ultimately, Crispy didn't have to do anything.
And ultimately, it was key. 4 kills that round for him as well. He was basically the redeeming factor of holding that play towards long. 2 players sacrificed, only one other doing damage, and then he came in with the real weight to it.
Well, it has been said he's one of the better AWP players in Germany.
In the world, I've heard.
In the world?
In the world.
Maybe. Maybe. Not sure, really. I mean, not going to find that in this game, that's for sure. So Stefan over towards the B side here. Some early flashes coming out from the T side, but nothing is going to be following that up, really. So just to test the waters. Plenty of flashes coming back from Crispy and Stefan as well, just to make sure they can actually settle themselves before any push actually comes here. And mid smoked up as well, so Strux isn't going to be able to do too much as he heads down. Sort of prevented from actually creating too much space in that part of the map. So for now, aTTaX have a read and they can take their time.
So ideally in this one, Johnny was basically watching to see how many players cross through towards B. So they've actually pulled the additional player over, which is KZY, or at least pulled him to this side. Originally it was Crispy and Stefan, I guess. So those guys were already there. They pulled the additional player, but now they're actually going towards it, which is kind of confusing. It's like, well, you kind of got what you wanted. You want to maybe weaken A? No? Okay, you want to still hit B now with 3 players there that you kind of signified to get to. So an interesting one. But let's see how this goes. It looks like an all-out face here. Tony's going to be basically given a shot. And you can see the CT's reading this well. They're going, no, not like that. And here we go, actually going anti-flash. They're going in on this. Crispy's turn. And look at the spray down. The damage is being done.
Great spray there as well, just to open things up. You can see how low Stavros and Tony both are. And even Oskarich fell as well. Stefan can pretty much just keep rinse and repeating at this point. Gets the shot over towards Stavros. And everyone's looking towards Crispy right now. So this just allows Stefan, for the most part, at least to have a bit of fun with it. But now KZY was always quite close. He's ready to jump in if he needs to. Flash out of the door. And Heave is always going to be there. Gets 2 as well. I think that was that in the one shot?
No.
No, he took the second shot. Okay, getting a bit ahead of myself here, but Tony now has to back away with his tail between his legs and try and hold on to this AWP.
Yeah, Penta then seemed like they were trying to do something a little bit, quite, not fancy. Fancy is a weird word for it, but they were trying to work something out. And the thing being, they actually could have pulled. Well, they did pull a player additional over. You pulled KZY over, so why not try and isolate those 3 players on B and try and hit A? Johnny surely saw them cross. He was sat in spawn late with a rifle trying to do so. Yeah, a little bit odd for me, I personally think. Tony has no money because he obviously survived and did nothing, but he has the AWP, so that's what it's all worth here at this point. And a great spawn as well. What a bit of luck here. And those 3 players on long. Let's see how they deal with it. Kiev last time was the redeeming factor.
It's going to be Tizian and KZY actually go forward. Kiev will just wait back on A and check any short push, and the flash comes in. It's going to prevent Tony from really lingering too long by that door and actually being able to line up a proper shot. And now KZY is actually going to back off as well. So I think Penta have been stifled in their aggression towards long now, and they're going to have to work back towards mid, but they have no information about mid. They don't know where Kiev's standing. They don't know if there's anyone peeking short. There's no smoke up for them either. But aTTaX playing pretty passive. They're giving the entirety of mid over, really, at this stage.
Well, they do at the start, and that could be an exploit that maybe if Penta were a team could start looking to abuse. So like a quick mid to B hit, forcing people like KZY to always be out of position. But with that triple stack on long maybe not being identified at the start, it's going to be harder for them to actually try and work on abusing that. So they could build to it now, but now's beyond the point. Now's not the time to be doing it. So there should be another round on the board for Alternate to kind of even the scales at this point, back to 3-3.
Tony wants to go in essentially first as well. He does have Johnny, so that at least can watch both angles. But KZY, hopefully a little bit more patient than he was in that first round. We saw the mid to B come out. Good flash, and look at that. Penta, all of them pushed away from that middle door, and even the Molotov coming in now. Things getting a little bit hot for them, and KZY is going to come around the corner. Crispy was also there to pick him up, and I think it's safe to say that that hasn't quite worked out for Penta now as well. It's off to plan B. Tony went down, and so did the AWP. And although Crispy doesn't know it, he's keeping Penta from picking it back up.
Yeah, this is... just sadly, Penta finding all the wrong timing, and for Alternate, their plan working out perfectly, right? It's the combination of both that if maybe Penta did that hit a little earlier, it could have worked. They could have abused the fact that KZY was out of spot, that they didn't have that support instantly there with Crispy towards mid because he's more focused on B. Yep. That could have worked out much better. But that means speeding up your plays, being really quick on the trigger, but keep going along at this pace is not going to work out. But let's see if Oscar can do any better now.
Well, this time Keeve's actually going to set himself quite far forward, and Oscar is just completely flashed as soon as he peeks around the corner, but actually Keeve backing up, and Tizzy is going to be on his own here. He needs to spray it down, and he only gets one. KZY out past the smoke, flashed as well. And people are just spraying in towards him as well. So he needs to re-flash that, but re-smoke that, sorry, but Struggs picks him up. Not ideal. I think KZY probably could have even just backed away there and allowed Keith to have some control from long.
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't have to take that much of an extended fight. Look how little information the CTs have. Stefan's desperately trying to find out where these guys are because they've only seen max 2 or 3 at long. So they're wondering, is there a player slow playing B? Is someone going mid? That means they have to split people up now. So these two can kind of focus on A. Basically, Keeve being a turret and Crispy holding his hand, like going, okay, well, I'll try and get mid for you and do 1-1-1. That's all they can really do here. So they've got the double AWP. And Keeve's going to be challenged out here by Tony on the scout. So a little bit weighted in one way towards this duel, but already the slight slowdown from Penta actually might cost them again. It depends where they take this.
Well, it's going to be to short right now as well. So the first line of defense will be Keeve on that side. He's actually backed away, it seems, and the Molotov going to bet on Keeve. He needs to move, and he's actually shot towards as well, expecting a play to be along, and Tony was there with the scout. Keeve was so low, just one shot to the body was going to be enough to get it done, and actually, Penta haven't committed towards his A yet. Maybe the threat of Crispy in CT is enough to keep them away, I'm not sure, but Crispy now going to justify his presence that much more. He'll be traded out, though. Struggs picks him up, and Stefan, well, not ideal.
I'm going to say this at the moment. Very well constructed round by Penta, then pulling themselves away from long, leaving one player there, and basically sandwiching in Keeve to such an uncomfortable position. Molly one spot, force him out from the site, allowing then Tony to be able to have a clear shot with the scout, and aTTaX going to be enough at that point. Everyone else comes up short, and they knew where Crispy was as well. So it kind of worked really nicely in unison, and it just pushed, sadly, Alternate a little too far. And now this triple stack at Long's a little more hesitant. They're a little worried to go for this, and maybe they're right to be doing so, because once again, the T side looking towards getting control, but not going quickly this time, taking it a little slower.
This time, Tizian actually goes towards Pit and doesn't stand on the corner and tries to challenge up, and it's a boost as well on towards short for Alternate. So they can have that early long presence. They leave Tizian there, then they quickly bring Keeve back, boost him up on towards short, and KZY sits towards CT.
Yeah, actually KZY and Crispy switching up a bit, like it seems in between some of these rounds, because KZY has been over at B before. Crispy was over towards A as well, so they seem to kind of play a little bit fluid, I guess, where they need to fill the positions, especially when it comes to mid. However, let's see, again, how do Penta approach this? Because they've got a lot of utility now. Tony's a little worse for wear, sadly. Someone's getting very excited in the hall opposite us. Rainbow 6. Yeah. But Keeve's going to be the man to basically play first point of contact unless they do a mid to B hit, which I wouldn't be surprised at, but I think it's going to be Keeve. And bit of a quick step out there from Stavros, going to make it an easy job for Keeve to pick that one up.
Yeah, he can just back away as well, just change things up, sit behind boxes, and now Oscarish, after a very brief and tentative peek over towards short, going to join the rest of his team as, well, things aren't looking this much better on the other side of the map either. You can see Struggs looking straight at a wall of smoke there as well, and Stefan can follow that up with a flash just to keep them guessing. Tony has the bomb in hand right now with the AWP, so it does look like it's going to be a mid to B again. Crispy going to flash out. going to go for this one now, but the timing was a bit off. His first pick was a bit strange, and the second, well, doesn't get it there, unfortunately, as well. Stefan eventually goes down, and that B-side is open completely.
Time.
4 seconds.
There we go.
He should be right.
Yeah, that mid-to-be was really nice in the fact that one player went anti-flash for Penta then on the pull-up towards the site, so that was pretty impressive for me. Expecting the flash to come out, but Keeve is doing his best to dig his team out of the situation. He's like, I'm not going to lose to a goddamn mixed team. If we're going to pick Dust 2 and not ban it out, then we better win this, guys, and he is going above and beyond. 2 kills already on a retake with an AWP. Impressive, and also pointing to the fact that Penta are making needless peaks here, maybe. So let's see what Keeve can do now. Gonna walk right in. Tizian joins him, and now down to a 1v2. Oscar can't hold his nerve, and only Tizian has the kit. But there is going to be surely enough time on this.
Just, yeah. Not a huge amount there, but enough. Alternate do get the retake, and it was a great showing from the pair of Tizian and Keeve. It was actually Tizian coming through as well. I mean, I think, which player was it? One of the Penta players, maybe Tony, was caught out in the open. He just thrown a grenade as well. So obviously the lapse in time with him pulling his weapon back out, he just got sprayed down. And then Oscar is sitting at the back, just peeking unnecessarily, maybe, really. He could have, imagine, if he bought himself an extra couple seconds, it could have been impossible to even get that defuse there as well. So a little bit, well, over-eager, I think it's safe to say. Yep,
and it looks like we're seeing the switch up the pace that I was hoping for, but this is just an eco, so it doesn't really matter that much. Unless they win it, then it does, but not going to happen this round.
You lose a round until you win it.
Yep. Still 5-4 scoreline, not too bad. I'd still say you'd want maybe a stronger T side if you're coming in as Penta here. You've got to be pushing as hard as you can go at this point. I'm not saying that other teams wouldn't, but considering they're the underdog, they need to go that little step further. They need that, like, annoyingly puggy T side. And they're kind of trying to play this slow, like, grinded out game, which seems to work, you know, 50% of the time. It's like the other 50 is not quite good enough yet, sadly.
Yeah, I don't know if this slow play really... Alternate are comfortable to deal with that generally. You know, like they leave Tizian on long, and he'll just sit there until if they make a late push to long, well, he raises the alarm, he sits there, he might even be able to trade it out. I mean, in that round 4, Tizian didn't do anything. He got both kills because Tizian just gave him the information. So Alternate are more than happy to sit back and let them come to them. Stavros has got himself fairly far down mid here. We may again see an attempt at a mid to B at this stage. It really depends what Johnny tries to go for through Longhouse or if he really wants to press his luck there at all. Tony still has the AWP to work with, but he's found absolutely nothing there as well. So Tizian's done well, keep himself quiet. Again, he's given up nothing really at all options-wise here. I don't know if I'd peek in if I was him. Hopefully he just stays a bit more patient and just waits.
Yeah. It was just like a weird peek. I don't know if he was trying to hear the steps, I guess, at top mid, see if he could hear them up there. As it looked like the players in mid haven't been able to see much. Crispy's just waiting for the flash to come through to flash himself in, which would blind any players going towards mid. And it looks like maybe a setup towards mid to be, but only a smoke on Johnny. And that's, again, the close smoke, not doing the one set above. And there's the pop flash, and he catches them perfectly. However, the AWP was ready. That was Tony, but he doesn't get the shot off. And there you go. There's a pincer coming out. But this time, the B site has been hit and hit properly. They have the players going in. They have the bomb going in. Oscar's there. But Keeve's still alive, as is Tizian. And that was a successful retake last time.
Yep, they've got the 3v4 now as well, but I don't think anyone from Alternate can work in from tunnels. Maybe Tizian can go lower dark, but he doesn't know who's still there. And it's Johnny actually sitting back in tunnels to stop any sort of attempt to come through from there. So it's going to have to be through door and through the broken window. Now, Keeve, well, we saw Nico pull off a sick retake on his own from this position in the past, but they're not the same person. And after Oscarish does get that kill, it might just be Keeve and Tizian just to try and back up there. He does get that lower dark kill as well. Maybe starting to smell some blood in the water here. Keeve just going to patiently wait. Sees the gun come around the corner. Just pulled the shot a little bit too early here as well. And he just wants to try and stay alive with his rifle at this stage. I would consider backing off. Oh, my lord.
Tried so hard and got so
I mean, if you have the money to force into that situation... I don't really think Penta had the money. Look at this. Look how much money they have after that. Why do you sack players into trying to get the AWP away?
When he can rebuy it.
And they go to very little money after that. What does Johnny have? If he doesn't have a rifle, okay, fine.
Yeah, they can rebuy it.
It's a little risky.
Yeah, they could have maybe done without losing so many, but there we go. Tony finding Keeve. That is the star you would want. That's a big star.
It's the first time Keeve's actually peaked mid here as well. Hasn't gone well for him.
Yeah, I think he's maybe going to lose Leffen, but Leffen. apparently. Words are really hard right now, but Tizian's going to try and find some aggression elsewhere to pull back maybe that initial frag. He wants to make it at least a 4v4, but Stavros spots out a little bit of a glimpse, maybe sees the gun barrel, maybe sees a little bit more, but Crispy's the one to find it. Oscar gets found, and now 4v4.
Yeah, Crispy went back to mid just to pick up the AWP and hung around for long enough. I think he picked up Oscar, who was on short or something similar. Either way, got to make it even.
And if they saw that that was Tizian on short then, if the name popped up,
yeah.
And now they try long, I'll be really impressed. I hope they do, because that'd be a really good read into the positioning so far from Alternate. And it looks like they're going to do it, whether or not that was because they saw a player out of place and assumed it. We will never know. I'll assume that just because they're smart. But there is a player still on the site, and that is KZY.
Yeah, no Kiev, though, for him in this case. So he's going to have to wait until PENTA get a little bit closer. But that Molotov eventually is going to flash him out if that is forthcoming. Actually, there's none left for PENTA here as well. So they're stuck with no utility, but they have an AWP. Has its own sense of utility, but KZY goes out for the peak there as well. Just a brief one. Now he's going to be ready for this as well. Flash comes in. Stavros hit pretty hard by that one. KZY in a great position just to buy himself some breathing room here as well. Stavros pushing into the molly, actually gets away with it, takes down KZY. He was checking short as he went, but still, PENTA have been bleeding players over the last couple seconds, and they've got Stavros and Tony to work with. Make it jump. Okay, no one. Fine. Crispy gets the shot there as well on Tony, just trying to press on towards A.
Yeah, again, I think they were trying to put too much weight on trying to get that lurk into play that was in mid. They had one player just waiting there the whole time. I'm actually not sure who it was. Yeah, just a little bit out of place, sadly, and it never worked out. And now look at that money.
Yeah, I mean, this is off the back of the losing maybe a couple too many players to Kiev earlier on. I mean, he's still been able to buy up AWP. There was no round that Kiev has been without an AWP in the last 5 or so. And he actually peaked really aggressively up mid briefly as well. We didn't quite catch that. The smoke came down as well as he was able to back away, but interesting now. A lot of flashes on towards short, and that might be where PENTA wants to go with these pistols.
But look how deep Alternate are playing. Literally sitting back as much as they can towards these sites and just taking pretty deep fights, which is smart. They don't want to get close to the pistols. P250s are pretty deadly. Couple them with armor, they're not bad at all. So you don't want to give them an opportunity to get into the range where they can really start to shine. You can see KZY desperate to get closer, but trying to hold his nerve and stay back and be a little bit more respectful of what these guns can do.
Yeah, I mean, we could see Alternate swarming over that A side. It didn't take long for Kiev to quickly and hastily rotate there through from CT and just try to bolster things there as well. So now PENTA are running out of players here. It's just Strux left, and he gets picked up as well. So that really round not yielding too much. And considering PENTA invested in armor and pistols, I don't even know if they can really go for anything. They've got no bomb plant, so it should be a clean save. Yeah. Clean save, surely. Oh, a little bit's maybe being spent here by Tony to get an upgraded pistol.
Yeah, they'll just buy to 2k. So Johnny could buy a P250 or like a flash or something. Yeah, they'll just buy to like around 2 grand, maybe just under. Stavros, actually very poor.
I just want to again stress how bad decisions made at the end of winning rounds can have negative financial consequences later on down the track, man. You don't want to throw guns away ever, even when you're ahead.
Yes, Mitch. I won't throw guns away. I'm sorry I make bad choices every now and then, but judgment hurts my feelings.
I think I'm the last person to give you tips on this game.
I haven't played in ages, you might need to. And I think Keith just did the full nade damage. I don't know if someone actually had done more damage, because there was 2 players on one, but that would have been quite funny if he'd actually done the full 100 HP nade.
Ooh.
And he's still going. All right, Keith, calm down. Yeah, these rounds should be throwaway, but actually PENTA is still being able to do something, and maybe it's just because they play more together. They play as like a wolf pack unit, just kind of like charging in. You'll assume that someone's going to be on site, right? And that's going to be Keith. So they've already let that go, and there you go. Tony's found a kill, and they're actually getting some progress. They're going to get a bomb plant. This is insane. This is what I mean. If they just play like this in the gun rounds, like that, just YOLO stupid play, and just kind of going for those ridiculous shots and just playing fast, it'll actually work out. And you can see Struggs being teased into the molly then. Oh, Struggs is sadly in such a bad spot, and he doesn't even know it. There you go. Tizian's going to be the one to punish. And I can't even find the keys anymore. I've lost my mind. There you go. Tizian will come in, get the AWP and the defuse.
Yeah. So, I mean, that round, and the reason why we got to see PENTA get so close there as well is because Kiev was being a Kino over at Longhouse as well. You know, he did tag Oscarish down at 4, which is fine. But remember, Tizian was sitting up there with him in towards pit. And KZY was off at B because they're like, oh, there could be a B rush coming here, right? So, I mean, the best place for you to go, yeah, is short. Bang it down short, get onto the site. Tizian was left at pit and long by Kiev. Kiev said, oh, you stay here. So Kiev was in a 1v4. And yeah, eventually they got the bomb plant down. So that's what PENTA wanted. That's going to let him buy up this round as well. We've got plenty of utility. Tony's even got some armor, so can't really complain about this.
Yeah, and looking at it this way, though, as much
Wrecked.
as much as the scoreline may look relatively close, Penta's rounds have come from, well, what started off as the pistol, and then they haven't really strung together too many gun rounds. They've been kind of close a couple of times. That retake going in from Kiev and Tizian is going to be the death of them at some point.
Sure.
But yeah, most of these rounds have not been gun rounds that have been picked up by Penta. So I kind of wish they kind of embraced a little bit more of the attitude they got when they come into the pistols of just kind of like playing towards the side real hard, real fast. Because it plays much better than these slow rounds because they're just allowing players like Kiev to really pick them apart, which is exactly what's happening right now. 13 kills already. A mile ahead from everyone else. Yeah, it's just not been a pretty picture, if I'm very honest, looking at Penta so far.
No. I mean...
No.
No, well, I think in some ways, the first few rounds, they were exceeding expectations. When we're seeing these guys are still sharp players with a keen edge, right? That's not the issue. It's just some of this mid to late round play is letting them down a bit. When we're seeing retakes that maybe shouldn't happen or just capitulations in positions where they really should close a round out quite comfortably. But Kiev will be watching this push, and again, much the same situation, right? If Penta can
Crispy's
deal...
pop flash, here we go. You ready, Mitch?
Yeah, nice flash. He didn't actually get anyone with that one. To be fair, alternate... no, sorry, Penta are ready for that one. I mean, the last time we saw Crispy pop flash that one, Tony turned his head away. And he just picked him up straight away as he came around the corner. That was a round that Penta eventually won there as well. So it doesn't always work, but Crispy still gets it done, and he can go into double AWP mode here with the rest of alternate. And Penta, well, not looking great. I mean, they're going to be getting a round loss bonus kicking in, I think, at some point soon. Yeah, almost there. So, bit of money for them again, enough that they can force into some Galils, some Tech 9s, and AK. But utility is pretty light.
Yeah, 2 AWPs as well. It's just, it's like, how much worse can it get?
It's like, last round, Tony went in without a helmet, thought he was fine, he got headshot immediately by Stefan.
Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. And if Penta keep playing slow, allowing AWPs to have their way with them, and it looks like you can already see that alternate are like happy to say, okay, well, you're going to play slow, fine, we'll just sit deep. Like, look at this.
KZY is actually set a goose here as well.
All your map control T-side. We do not care at all. Take all of it. It doesn't matter. Like, we can just stop you as soon as you get anywhere important, like here, or maybe there. Or
I think
there.
that's their best bet, actually, to be fair, is you can try mid to B. I mean, KZY normally is the guy sitting in mid. He's right at goose right now, right? So that would be the best move. Short, not the best move at this stage. So we'll see. I mean, they got 2 smokes between them. They can work with them a little bit. It's a flash on towards A there as well. Crispy's ready to actually counter-smoke a push out of mid, so that will buy precious seconds for KZY to probably drop down into CT if they do think it's going to be a mid to B. Again, alternate, more than happy to sit back and wait for this to happen.
What time are they going to go on? They need to go soon. I assume it is going to be a mid to B, but they're leaving it very late. Stavros tried to do the drop down towards CT, and he just about makes it. Finds Kiev. That's ridiculous. But this is all a clever ruse again. This is going to be a B hit. Crispy's smoked out nicely, though. Look at this. They're going to make them come right through the smoke. Have to play right into their hands. KZY has just been sat on the other side the whole time. Crispy has complete Overwatch here. Sprays in. He's got 10 seconds to stay alive. That's all he needs to stay alive for. The B site has the players, and it's Crispy locking them down as they walk in. 6-shot comes out and finishes off with some style. And that's the danger when you run the clock that low at any point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, your margin of error decreases and decreases. You have less opportunities to stop, reset, and go for something else, right?
Yep.
To be fair, I don't necessarily feel that was the worst decision. We're talking about the mid to be. The fact that Kiev got caught there by Stavros dropping off of short while KZY was already shooting at the guy, that's just unfortunate.
Unlucky,
like, Kiev, what are you doing there, mate? I guess he was thinking it's a mid to be, and he wasn't expecting there to be someone Batmaning him from short, so that's fine. But KZY was there. It could have been a flash thrown by Stavros before he pushed out. I'm not sure. Either way, Crispy finishing off a very good half for himself there, 15 and 5. And Penta, yeah, I mean, only managed to get those 5 rounds on the T side. You'd hope for something a bit stronger.
Being a pistol.
Yeah. So I think it's expected. They are reaching expectations here as well. And Dust was probably going to be the one map, like you sort of pointed out in your own special way at the start of the game, was probably going to be the one that they got the best performance on out of the map pool here.
Oh, ladies and gents, this is me just hopping right on board that struggle bus right now. I'm strapped into my chair at this point. Yeah, this is the thing. I can see actually a lot of opportunities here for Penta to build up. I'm being very honest. Kyiv was allowed too much room to breathe, but we are back in the way. We'll theory craft some more, I can imagine, when there's a pause or a delay or something. But a 4-1 split. Let's see how much they really pay into this round alternate. And already, look at this instant aggression from Penta. What is that? It's worked. What is that?
Don't know. I guess they double peaked it there as well, hoping to catch the first guy. So Oscarish gets one. Whether that'll stop alternate or not, I don't think so. They got KZY actually rotating in from the A side of the map to help them out at B here. So all Strugs, is that an early rotate? No. It is. Crispy might have rattled the cage enough here over towards short that even Oscarish is moving out of B? No, not a good move at all. Now, alternate are actually in that side, and, well, PENTA put themselves in a retake position there as well. Oscarish gives up the game, should I say. Then he gives up the ghost straight after. Stefan able to pick him up pretty easy, but has traded in. But control of B is in alternate's hands. It never should have been. Yeah,
this is weird. They must have heard a sound or something, but oh my god, it's all falling apart, Mitch. What is happening?
That was not. There was. I don't know why they over-rotated.
They must have heard something in mid, or
there was a player. It was Crispy on short. One dude on short, and I don't even think he got a kill at that point. It was just one dude on short.
He was just there. I don't know. This is really, really odd. It's someone must have overcalled or oversaid something, or they must have read it as, oh, it's going to be a mid to B instantly. And overreacted. Simple as that. They put too many players there. They completely abandoned the B side. And you could see the players going to go back to it. It was like Oscar into was like, oh no, what the hell is this? And they had to get back there as soon as he could. Nice work from Tony. He's got a kit as well, but you can hear that clock ticking, that bomb timer going down low. He only has the Glock as well to work with. Fakes it out desperately.
No. Okay,
chance.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, but like you said, that response from PENTA was obviously because they thought there'd be a mid to be, right? There's no other reason. Maybe a smoke was thrown into... No, there wasn't a smoke. There was a smoke on Xbox. That was it.
Yeah.
I've got the Joe Miller after too many beers hands now. I don't know what is going on with this game. Seriously. Anyway, let's... not digress too much here, as Alternate do at least win out on that pistol there as well, which is huge for their momentum as well, especially after a very strong finish to that first half. And they're going to keep going. There, Johnny just walked straight into Stefan's crosshairs and picked up, and it's a very quick rotate for PENTA here towards this A side.
Hey, why don't we over-rotate some more? That's a really cool idea. That worked out so well.
That's what they're doing, seriously. They put two players straight down CT and boosting people up. That was very fast. But hey, I mean... Well, no, I don't think so. Like, that's the thing.
Oh, here we go. There you go. There's my beautiful drawing. How'd you like my artwork?
Your colours are wrong, Lauren. I'm OCD. I can't do with it. Click, 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 click. Strugs there as well. Just going nuts on the scout there. Tony actually, though, gets on towards KZY there as well. I don't know if that was a team effort or not here as well, but it's a push on from short, and Tony is very, very low. He still gets Kyiv somehow.
How is this working?
The scout dream is real.
God.
The scout dream is actually real. Tizzy now going to have to do it all himself, and he may just be able to do that. He gets his third, and Stavros is going to be waiting with the pistol in hand. He gets himself a Mac 10 at the very least, but Tizian, no more time for games. That was interesting, to say the least, but Tizian is going to put his foot down, and he's going to bring the round up for Alternate. It's 12-5. The scout dream was so real just then. I don't know why. I guess Alternate kept themselves at arm's length for so long that PENTA could just play a shooting gallery. What was that sound?
It's just me done. You know what I mean? You know, you're just like done.
So tilted.
Like, I know. It's Alternate meant to be like a team. They're not meant to get done like that. That's unreal.
Tizian pugged his way to victory. It's fine.
Yeah, essentially. Like, Tizian just went in man mode, like, no. We stop this right now. No more. Yeah, a little bit curious as to the choices made then. But at the end of the day, Alternate are ahead. They've stabilized. It was a bit kind of shaky here and there, but they've gone for it. And they've managed to pull it back to a pretty respectable scoreline, no matter how these rounds have played out, which has blown my mind at some point. And on the other side of things, of course, Tony going back on the scout, because why not? Why the hell not? You almost, change the whole landscape of this game. You might as well try it again.
Alternate seem to have made the correct decision here as well. They fake, I guess that was a fake mid to be smoking towards mid here. Stavros is still like, oh, what's going on over here? But there's 4 players up on short, and KZY is sat back to watch any flank from long A. So this is great. 4 players are going to be able to push straight out on towards this A site now as well, and Alternate wastes no time. Check Goose, no one's there. It's Stavros in the underside here as well, which is super annoying for him to play from. So they've just opened the door and walked straight in. Alternate have Stavros get slapped back down. And Stefan got to make quick work of that one.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah. What?
I'm so done. What is that? It's just like the RP, or is it the scream glide giggle?
Oh, when RPK was on the ledge.
Yeah.
That's actually my subscriber sound on Twitch now.
Great.
They've even recovered a rifle. Where did they get the rifle from?
Don't know.
I
don't know.
It was KZY's, okay. Fair enough.
I think Tony appeased the gods by buying another scout this round that they dropped from the heavens, an AK Strugs.
Yeah, take this.
No, KZY was sat back in T-spawn to watch any sort of flank through Longhouse, so it must have been picked
so they
up.
picked up from then.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Fair enough. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I'll let that happen. And they're going to go around it. So here we go. So we've got the scout was still with Tony because Chris J's his idol. Outside that, we've got pretty much anything they can do. A little bit limited on what they brought up here, but it's the best they can work with. So let's see what they can achieve here. Last time around, you looked at how Alternate played this. 3 players on long instantly. They're going to do a quick little flasher. Johnny's to be set up and sent in. Crispy's on the other side, though, so not ideal for Johnny here because he doesn't know the Crispy's actually made his way out.
Crispy have heard Johnny from there?
He'll just be watching this angle anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, it knows now that Johnny re-smokes it. Johnny's been wrecked the last couple of times, actually. I think it was Crispy actually just wrecked him as he tried to get in position on long here as well. So Johnny has not had the easiest of halves working from that part of the map, and Stavros is at least prepared for the mid to B split. Thing is, though, the Alternate have a little bit more up their arsenal than a mid to B split. You like that one? Yeah. Should be in their arsenal.
I personally don't.
Should be in their arsenal, but hey, that also works. They're both fine. Get that one up your arsenal line.
If Joe ever asked, hey guys, you want to do a pod review soon? Like, no, we did a really good job on the Meisterschaft. Don't worry about it. We're really proud of ourselves. We never look back over this. We're back in the game because already, sadly, not bringing up the rear. Penta. Oh, falling apart.
Yeah, no, Oscar is in trouble here. You have to back away and just save that gun really for this round. And then, look, Alternate.
You're not even looking at me.
I can't look at you, Lauren. No, even more so than usual. It's a difficult thing to do, right?
Wow, Mitch. Way to just break down the tone.
All right. Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm glad that everyone's listening to the German coverage of this and not the English one.
Yeah,
so
exactly. If you want the serious cast, do look up 99 Damage's channel because they're the ones doing it as well.
They may not have collars, but they do have tact. And we appreciate
I've never had tact. They are the guys covering it as well from on-site. We're the ones just doing English coverage to keep you guys up to speed in case you want to keep up with the German teams, not DreamHack, not the ESL Premier, I think it is at the moment. If you don't care about those, but you really care about Penta, then this is the place to be.
That's right. If you really care about Neo Penta 2.0.
Yeah, it's not even the real Penta, the actual Penta.
The final form
lost
of
to
Penta.
Hellraisers, I believe.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I don't know which Penta I prefer right now. I mean, I saw the other. No, seriously, I saw the other Penta in the Meisterschaft, and seriously, I think 2 cups. No, they didn't even play in the first one, and they went out in the first round in the second one. It was just crazy. But I mean, hey, that's fine. Let's talk about the real Penta, not the imposter Penta, who still have 4 players left to go here. With a bit of a messy bye, they've at least been able to keep themselves in this round. And Alternate now have 3 players at least, so they can spearhead through mid here because Stavros and Johnny have committed so hard to long here. Stavros needs to turn now and go back towards CT if he's going to see anyone crossing, and he's not because there's a smoke there. It's a mid to B. It's going to work out so well. It's a 3-2 as well. Alternate have the advantage on this push, and Tizian nails Strux to the wall. Now it's all about Oscar is trying to hold on and gets one, but it's not going to stem the flow of Alternate players going towards him. And just like that, bomb down, and Alternate have evened it up at 2v2.
This is the thing. Every player who's ever played Dust 2 in the wild, if you've ever played on A, and you get like 2 kills, you're like, oh guys, we got this under wraps, we got this on lock, don't worry. And then B goes and absolutely messes the bed. You're like, are you serious? I have to retake now as well. Great job, guys. Just lock it down. Johnny's now got tagged through the door. He's having a really bad time after it was a great start. And you're going to see Alternate get themselves on towards map point. It's not match point, though, because we go to 3 maps, I hope, Mitch.
That's right. I don't think so, Lauren, at this rate. When was the last time that... Not to rub it in, I just want to know when Penta last got around here. What can you tell me? Okay, so it's been
a while
yeah.
ago.
So Alternate have really turned it up now as well. A little bit shaky to start with. There could be jitters or anything like that. But these guys have played Meisterschaft finals before. To be fair, the last one was at Take TV in Krefeld. Much more of a laid-back kind of like lounge sort of feel, whereas they're now playing in more of an esports arena setup. So maybe a little bit more nervous for them. Who knows? These guys have been around the German scene for a long time, though. They know what they're doing. And nice to see they've eliminated some of the jitters from their play. They're looking, well, far harder to overcome here.
Thank God. They really should be. This is the thing. It's like, at the end of the day, if you picked us two against a team who's a mix, you better be damn ready to play it out because it can be so deadly. But they are turning up. They are doing well. They are getting 5-7'd.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff from Stavros, just catching the timing perfectly right on that and abusing it. This mid to B has just been ground to hold. That molly will force him out, but he's got the information now. He's spotted out 2 players there. He knows what's coming their way, and Tizian, it's all about the timing on this as well, because just on the other side, I believe it is Oscar, and the wild spray comes in, and Oscar wins out on that, now down to a 2v4. T-side's actually starting to dwindle a little here.
Yeah, it's just Crispy left now as well. This will be big if we can make it happen, but no, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Penta get back their first round in probably about 10 rounds. It's been a very, very hard slog for them here, and well, this is how they turn this thing around. Alternate, despite a long spree of rounds, don't really have the biggest economy here as well. They're losing players, they've bled weapons, and so there's going to have to be a little bit of a shuffle of guns around. Who gets what is the real question. And Penta have been able to supplement their buy with scavenged weapons and some good amount of utility.
Scavenged and salvaged. All in one.
Scavenged, yeah, that's what it was.
By the way, I understand your like weird English better than you do. But yeah, we're going to see Alternate trying to fight for that presence on long, but they're going to be greeted with a, I just said great, which is greeted and met in one word. Met with some force there by Johnny and Co. Now you get 3 players there, but look at the split. This is quite nice, actually. They've gone and pulled all the attention towards long and tried to get some pressure going up short. But actually, Johnny went out on so many of these fights means that it's not going too well to their favor. And now Stavros can come into the action, put his presence towards platform, and he gets the double. And there you have it, a nice clean round actually coming in for Penta. So Mitch's comeback's on, the night's not over yet.
Yeah, Stavros has had an excellent couple of rounds, actually. In the one prior, we probably got, I think, 2 or 3 at least there as well. So good to see him putting the big boy boots on and starting to lift up now as well. It's going to be plenty of utility for Penta to work with as well. And Alternate, are they going to be sensible here? Probably. I mean, they might buy to 2K. Crispy has actually a fair bit of money, but he goes just for the Desert Eagle and armor for Crispy as well. Why not? I mean, he can afford it at this stage. So, Rush B, don't stop, potentially.
They stopped. Vote kick.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. That's nice. See, this is the thing, though. I find it really dangerous to be doing that with an AWP, because that's literally what Alternate we're playing for there, is to try and overwhelm the AWP or any player in mid. Ideally an AWP, but anyone who's willing to take that fight, just quickly gather it and run the hell away. And now they can get a bit of a tour around. Actually, that's Strugs here in the shot. Don't get too excited, people. And now 3 left for the T side.
Yeah, I mean, they can just pepper away at those doors with the AWPs and always guarantee themselves a decent amount of damage. Stefan's in a decent... Never mind.
Nice.
Kiev's in a decent position to...
Really? You want to jinx him as well?
No one is, no. Well, if it makes a round go quicker, it's not a terrible thing if Penta want to get back in this one. Tony gets the pistol out, finishes off Kiev. I figured that with KZY where he was, he could have just pushed forward with a Tech 9 and maybe got a kill. But 2 warpers, watching mid doors. Interesting allocation of resources there for Penta, but ultimately it pays out because Alternate sent 5 people straight up the guts.
Nailed it. Point being now is the Penta need to invest into everything. There can't be any recovery, so they might as well go for the double AWPs. It's like when you're in overtime and you kind of have nothing to lose at that point. So yeah, Penta need to just go all out, and walking into mollies is such a cool idea. 1G's in chat, boys. Yeah. Raise your memes. Yeah, that's interesting.
Not ideal.
I don't know. I get taking a bit of damage because you can, but I don't see to that extent. He's down to 10 HP. That's just ridiculous. And now, look, here comes a just steam train up short. Stefan finds Johnny. Now, Tony has to be like a one and done. Like, as soon as someone actually faces him, he cannot take a fight. He's 12 HP. You know, the AWP's great for that first shot because you're always going to be clean on it. But if they just run up, he's done for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a spitball would pretty much take him at this point. So... Alternate have a little bit more than that to work with here. Tony, as you said, can take one shot, back away further up along, and maybe even trying to jump into pit and try and support Stavros from the side. But here they come. Tony gets the shot, even though he was flashed. But ultimately, as we expected, the shots are going to come through now as well. Reminder, Alternate on match point for the last 4 or 5 rounds, and they're looking to finish it off now. If Oscar Rich doesn't have anything else to say about it, and no, it's not going to be enough. It's too little, too late, and Alternate aTTaX will get that first map, despite what that says. It's going to be 16-8 there. They probably would have had it at 16-5 there, Lauren.
Yep. Yeah, they would have. I don't know what to say. It's like, it was just some really weird play overall. Kyiv had a great first half, being the main factor there with the AWP. Personally, I think he did very well. I think he kind of brought everyone back to where they should be performing, because there were shaky rounds, there were questionable choices. I like their their long presence, how they triple stacked mid, and then did it to long, and they kind of did this around the map. The CT side was actually quite creative from aTTaX, but outside of that, I think if we look at the next map coming up, which is Cobble, that pretty much now means that if you can't pull it together on Dust 2 as a mix, good luck on Cobble.
That was one of your biggest concerns coming in this, as you said. It's like this actually lends itself to more of that Puggy-style team where those aim-oriented plays or players can actually come out on top a little bit more as well. So we have to see if Penta have anything else in their arsenal after the break. Don't go too far. It's going to be Cobblestone, what may be the last map of this semi-final. We'll have to see if Penta can hold on. Don't go too far. We'll be back right after this break.